racist thinking.
I'm dedicated to it. I can't be stopped.
All right, 3, 2, 1, liftoff with Uncle Ted, the truth, logic, and common sense daddy. I'm your barbecue daddy. I'm your spirit of the wild daddy. I'm your all-American Motor City muscle, soul music, rhythm blues, rock and roll, piss and vinegar daddy. Welcome back. I love you people. You know, Thanksgiving is coming up soon, but I'm giving thanks already. I did it in the first segment as I talked about the people who rip off fellow Americans like Texas Metal. Oy vey, but I feel so good because it is November and I got sacred flesh hanging from the buck pole. By the way, there's this great culture, and you've heard me rave about it forever. The natural hands-on conservation spirit of the wild. Environmentally friendly, the only really beneficial environmental activity we're capable of participating in, and that would be hunting, fishing, trapping, ranching, farming, and resource stewardship, the resources that provide us quality of life, air, soil, and water that comes from wildlife habitat, which hunting families, fishing families, trapping families, us duck hunters, my God, the money, trillions of dollars that we have dedicated and invested in wetlands for the waterfowl, which benefits quality air, soil, and water, that benefits the elk habitat across the Western Range, which benefits the quality air, soil, and water, which benefits wildlife habitat, the landowners. You realize that just in Michigan, we create billions of dollars flowing into the economy, billions every year. Every state, billions of dollars of revenue are generated by the hunting, fishing, trapping, outdoor families. Not just the equipment we buy, which we taxed ourselves with the Pittman-Robertson tax, the 11% tax. That's too much. We shouldn't have done that. Maybe 2% would have been good because you can't follow the money because the bureaucrats, I promise, are wasting it. In fact, isn't that the whirlwind that we're in right now? We, the people, busting our ass to be in the asset column, working hard before we play hard, earning our own way, living within our means, saving for a rainy day. Boy, that Nugent is absolutely outrageous, radical, extreme. Guy earns his own way. He saved for a rainy day, giving to charities, living within our means. Those are the people I hang out with, which, by the way, Thanksgiving coming up. I'm doing a double episode next week because when this airs on November 15th, 2025, I hope to be up to my earlobes in gut piles. That's right, gut piles. Well, that's nasty. No, gut piles are the essence of life because from the gut piles comes the liver and the heart, which is delicious. Talking about pure, natural, the last of real organic protein. Venison, deer, and heart, good stuff with onions and garlic and butter. Come on, put it over some pasta. Come on. Oh, God, Shemaine makes these wonderful dishes with the venison. It's the best food in the world. No restaurant can compete with the queen of the forest. By the way, talking about thankful, I got Coco, Sadie, and Happy. No, Happy. There's Happy up there. Happy died here a couple years ago. Look at that dog. Look at that dog. Got the Michigan gun rights, Great Lakes gun rights. God bless you people who stand up for the Second Amendment. Because without the right to defend oneself, without the right to have the tools with which we can defend ourselves, without the Second Amendment, all the other rights are a joke. So, as we celebrate Thanksgiving, don't I always say that? I always say that. I celebrate Thanksgiving every day. I celebrate Independence Day every day. I celebrate Veterans Day every day. I celebrate Memorial Day every day because I fight for the atrocities of a corrupt bureaucrat gangster government who tramples on our freedoms all the time. Property tax, wait a minute, when I bought the property, I paid tax on the transaction and the transaction was concluded. I don't owe anything after the transaction is done. But we're being raped and pillaged by an Uncle Sam bureaucracy completely out of control. There's a movement here in Michigan. In fact, I think it's obvious in every state where people are protesting against property taxes. Not only are they just way too outrageously abusive and costly, but they shouldn't even exist. When I buy a car, I register it. That's the VIN number. I'm the owner. It's registered. No, it doesn't expire. It's still me and it's still the VIN number, still the same vehicle. It's registered. No, you have to register it every year. No, I don't. See what we've been bamboozled into? And if I wanted to sell you a beer, by the way, I had a Corona with a lime in it last week. Thank you, George. Congratulations, George, on your big buck. My God, we can show that picture of those bucks hanging because I had some great. Bill got a great buck, and Frank Rush from Oklahoma got a giant buck, and I got a giant buck, and Shemaine got a giant buck. And everybody's getting giant bucks. My son Toby's getting ready to start now, but he had some water intrusion in his home in Jackson, so he's overwhelmed with the repairs thereof. Plus, we went to a funeral the other day. Boy, oh boy, that's a tough one, huh? Joanne Kennedy, what a great, great woman. What a great family. What a great service at the church in Jackson, Michigan. Talking about good, loving, caring, productive, conscientious people. You know, you'd think that, I don't know how Uncle Sam got so out of control criminal and corrupt. Well, I do know. Take that back. I know exactly. I've been talking about it ever. Worse than communism, worse than Marxism, worse than liberals, worse than jihadists being mayor of New York City. If you can imagine something worse than that, is apathy. Good Christian, constitutional, conservative conservationists that don't vote. Numbnut suicide, cultural suicide by numbnuts disengaged. Well, I'm not into politics. Then you're not a real American, because this is an experiment in self-government. If you're not participating in the experiment, you're in the liability column, and you ushered in Joe Biden and his gang, and Susan Rice, and Mark Milley, and Christopher Wray. And the CIA that killed Kennedy, they killed Martin Luther King, they killed Robert Kennedy. Come on. Well, that's conspiracy. You know, they invented the term conspiracy theorist so that they could denounce when the evidence that we find that concludes that the CIA is the enemy of freedom, the enemy of America, constitutional oath-violating jackass punks. You got to be careful, Ted. They might try to kill you. Well, whatever. My name's Ted Nugent. You know where I live. So anyhow, let's celebrate. Well, number one, you know, the truth, logic, and common sense, my First Amendment outrage here, it's like a holy war, a jihad for truth, logic, and common sense. I hate using that term, but it's applicable. So the reason you're able to celebrate the big mouth guitar player, Nugent's got a big mouth, not to be confused with meh, 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 meh. Spineless, soulless, little mean nothing negative liabilities that don't condemn corruption, that don't spotlight cockroaches. The only good American is a whistleblower. When you see the ubiquitous, overwhelming, universal abuse of power and criminality and you don't say anything, Hillary Clinton would like to thank you. Nancy Pelosi would like to thank you. Nancy Pelosi, that's the manifestation of cultural abandonment. Look at the wench. Look at this horrible creature. Listen to her. Hakeem Jeffries, listen to this guy. Listen to Democrats. Well, men should be able to go in women's locker rooms if they identify, if they pretend. Yikes. So anyhow, the reason I'm here is because real America's voice deserves me, because they realize, you know who's got a real American voice? That Nugent guy. Have you ever listened to the lyrics to Stranglehold or Stormtrooper or Great White Buffalo or Tooth, Fang, and Claw? Or Crave, if you've ever listened to the lyrics to his songs, this guy is a real American voice. The founding fathers wanted all Americans to be just like me, suspicious of all authority, to utilize our God-given individual rights that the founding fathers just happened to write down in the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the Ten Commandments, the Golden Rule, self-evident truth, logic, and common sense, and I'm your daddy. So the reason I'm here and the reason that I'm celebrating this and trying to inspire people to engage, go to hunternation.org. We'll put it on the screen. HunterNation.org is about getting Christian, constitutional, conservative conservationists to get their apathetic, mean-nothing liability heads out of their ass and vote the core values that made the American dream the only dream. Have you ever heard of the French dream? There's not a French dream. The French dream is So it's brought to you by Mike Lindell and MyPillow.com. Gift season is upon us. Gift season is all year. Thanksgiving is all year. Independence Day is all year. Memorial Day, Veterans Day, all year. Middle finger day all year, every day all year. Go to MyPillow.com. Mike's got an incredible, great products. The dogs are sleeping on MyPillow.com dog beds. Go to MyPillow. We're going to put that on the screen, the whole thing. MyPillow.com, type in the code SPIRIT. World-class American-made products by American-made, hard-working families in the asset column, being productive, earning their own way. And you can celebrate those self-evident truths, foundational values of the American dream by going to MyPillow.com, type in the code SPIRIT, and spend your hard-earned money on gifts for the people you love that are quality gifts that will actually enhance quality of life. Well, there's a picture of a bunch of dead deer on that other screen. It's so beautiful. I love hunting. It's aim small, miss small, the challenge. I'm going to talk about that next segment because we got a buddy coming on, Kip Campbell with Kat Campbell. Kat's not coming on. She's way prettier than Kip. Just like Shemaine is way more fun to look at than I am, which is why Ted Nugent's Spirit of the Wild TV on the Pursuit Channel is the #1 watch conservation program in the history of the world. But Kip Campbell has one called Red Arrow on Pursuit Channel, and it's just as good. He's a funny guy. He's almost as cocky as I am. And he's better looking than me. That's a nice balance. MyPillow.com. Also, GetUncleTeds.com. We'll put it on the screen. You love your dogs. Don't dogs bring you supreme, definitive, comprehensive happiness? Then give them natural sustenance, natural help. GetUncleTeds.com. Nutritional supplements that will make your dogs healthier and happier and live longer, which makes us healthier, happier, and live longer. Ted Nugent, Spirit of the Wild, Spirit Campfire, Real America's Voice. You love it. I love it.